Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Casual Dracula. I'm your host, Actual Dracula, and I will never get tired of that opening. Anyhow, we've got a very special show for you tonight with two fine gentlemen who I will bring out immediately because I'm already starting the show 20 minutes late. So we have got with us tonight the one and only Adrian Pandawesome. How's it going, buddy?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. And could this be possibly the return of War Machine Punisher? We know.
I can't.
No!
I don't
Hey,
know. I don't know how he did it for so long. I'm dying.
It's just Nick. How's it going, Nick?
What's up, everybody?
How about that, eh? I had that all wrong. I was pretty sure that War Machine Punisher was Ryan, and looks like it wasn't.
Nope, that was one of the greatest intros into the YouTube community ever.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Absolutely. I had considered getting one of those, and because I noticed the paint in my kitchen was very similar to the wall color that he had going. I was thinking if I could get one of those masks and then there'd be two of us, that would be see, I can't do it now, right? But it's too late.
He revealed himself too early.
I was that was too bad, but anyhow. So I wanted to do, it is New Comic Book Day. If you guys have any books you want to show off, you could do that. I was thinking maybe we'll do that at the end. I have a couple boxes here. I wanted to, I figured now would be a good time to open them up. Mm-hmm. But I did want to talk about collecting because I was thinking, it's something I've been thinking about. The reason I wanted to do that with you two guys is because, like, over the past, year or so, I've gotten to kind of catch a glimpse into kind of how you guys collect, the things that you collect, and you both seem to have a pretty good, I think, handle on things. Like I look at you two and I see, you guys, you're big collectors, right? And so I kind of wanted to pick your brain about that because for me, it's really only been about a year and a half, not even, since I got back into the hobby. And so I've learned a lot since then. Actually, what made me think about this was, I guess it was a few weeks ago now, I had the honor of being on 10 Questions with Jimmy the Don, Small Town Collectibles. Who, by the way, I don't know if did you guys catch him on Whack Comics last night?
I did.
That was amazing. Jimmy is a national treasure.
Yeah, that makes me. That reminds me, I got to go get some Cocoa Radiant.
Yes.
I've heard of this Cocoa Radiant. Actually, hold on one second.
If
tasty dish right there.
Jimmy is the best. Yeah, that's it. Oh, he's gone full tuck, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all you get. 1,000 subscribers.
Let's get Nick up to 1K as quickly as possible. But Jimmy had asked me, actually, you know what, before we even get to that, let's say hi to the chat before I forget. Let's see who's in here. Why the hell not? Oh, Jean Mallow. Good to see you. We got Pocan Joe in the house. Mr. Denthead. Yeah. How's it going? King Spawn. Nick. Yeah, we're showing YouTube. It's still better than low grades. I'd have to agree with you there. Oh, we got Burke Nasty in the house as well. Always morphin' time. Except on this show. You keep your Power Rangers out of this.
BDDB.
Actually, I'm really looking forward to having Burke on because I was just on Meet the Burke fam, and I'm surprised he didn't ask me about Power Rangers at all. I was ready and willing to talk about Power Rangers, so I'm gonna have to have Burke on here, and we'll talk some Power Rangers. Oh, look at this, Mr. Ignacio. Okay. Yeah.
Barbara Gordon, you Hulk. My name is Ignacio.
And Lee J. Dinks.
Yeah. And looks like we got everyone. All 7 people watching. It's too bad more people aren't here. They missed out on that Jimmy the Dawn clip, but
we can.
I'm sure
playing that all night.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Speaking of which, we got Shop for Comics. Hey. In case you did just join us here, have you heard of Coco Radiant?
It's a tasty dish right there.
I don't have to do the dance again, do I?
No.
You're gonna
Save
please
that for later. And
we saved that for backstage.
Yeah. What I was getting to, why I even brought up Jimmy in the first place, was because one of the questions he asked me was, I guess, about how I collected and how, since I started collecting, how many and in what different ways it has changed.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember what I told him, but like after that, I thought about it more and more, because even after just a year and a half of collecting, I've kind of, my focus has shifted multiple times. And so I kind of wanted to ask you guys, because you've been collecting longer than me, I believe. Well, first of all, how long you have been collecting seriously, and how many times kind of that has changed for you. And I guess you're focused on what's kind of been important, what you focused on collecting, and I guess where you're kind of at now with that.
Okay. Nick, you can go.
Thank you, Panda. All right. Well, it's changed. I've been collecting again since around Halloween here in the States. At that time, I pretty much bought anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, virgin covers? Cool, I'll take it. Oh, store incentives? Up. Give me 3 of those. It has slowed down dramatically since then. I've had pretty big pull lists. Even that I've trimmed down. Like, I was spending probably close to $200 a week on books.
Wow, yeah.
And today I got the bill, and then I think it was like $83, and that's with a $20 book in there. So it's changed. I've learned a lot more about how to care for comics this time around. When I got back in, I didn't know anything about cleaning and pressing.
Yeah.
So now I've taken that upon myself, and I'm actually pressing my books, cleaning my books, with the exception of the big ones. So I don't want to mess up the big ones. So that, and getting used to the newsstand variants again now too, being the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a question I was going to ask both of you. Are either of you do? Because personally, it's not something I really seek out, but I know a lot of people are into newsstands and Canadian price variants. Do either of you even care about those. Like some people need both. Like they want the direct and the newsstand.
Yeah.
I don't know if for you guys, does that even matter?
No,
Well,
for me, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
For me, it's not that big of a deal, but there is one that I do want to get, and that is this. I've got this TMNT Adventures #1, and I've got it in a 9.6, but it's just a regular direct. I would like to get the newsstand Canadian price variant of that, and it's just so expensive.
Yeah. See, now that I can see, like for specific books, like specific grails, I could see myself wanting every kind of version of that book, right? Like, yeah, that makes sense. But in general, newsstands aren't something that I don't even really look, to be honest, half the time, whether it is or not until after I've got it. But
honestly, that's newsstands used to not matter to me.
Yeah.
And now that I get it, I'm just like, oh, that's cool. And it's still not something that I seek after. Like, I would rather get a newsstand over a direct copy. If I can get a newsstand for the same price as the direct, then I'm happy with that. So, like newsstands really don't really bother me. Like when I first started collecting, I started collecting probably 2 years ago, and my tastes have changed so dramatically. Like when I first started, I was watching Comic Tom 101 and Gem Mint Collectibles, and those guys were the ones that were really hyping me up for like hottest books of the week. These are the books that you want to get. If you want to sell high, these are the books that you want to get. And so what I ended up doing, being a rookie, was that these books that were featured on this show, I had to get. So I was buying high and not selling anything. So I was just doing nothing but buying. So I had to really change my mindset and really look at the market and be like, okay, so what's going to be the next hot thing if I'm going to be selling, right? What's on the top 10? Like what is going to be coming out? And I had no idea about a pull list. I had no idea about FOC, final order cutoff. For those of you that don't know what FOC is, I had no idea what an AOK is. Somebody had to tell me. Like I put it in a chat and I said, I see AOK all the time. And I think it was during Wink Inc. that I saw his unboxing. So, and the thing about this is that the guys that you guys see on YouTube are easily accessible.
Yeah.
Easily. They're some of the most down-to-earth people, especially in this comic book community, that I've ever met. Had I not seen Nick's Kix and Comics before I actually talked to him, I don't know if I would have, you know what I mean? Because it was just like, but for me, like, I'm just really friendly to anybody that's coming into the community. So, I try to be wary, but at the same time, I'm going to show them a good face, because this comic community is one of the best communities I've ever been a part of. It was something that I didn't know that I needed, just like small people said. And it's just one of those things that, if I hadn't been in this community, then I don't know if I would still be collecting as I did when I first started. It probably would have dropped off. But now that I've got this group of guys that I hang around with and have actually met in real life, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. And so now my goal hasn't been to collect comic books the way that I used to. It's actually trying to connect to people on a deeper level than just the comics. And that's kind of how I try to do my show, is that, I do the hangout and we talk about comics here and there. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing's all about just what I got through the mail, but I don't even talk about the books. If you guys ever actually watch my show, I'm like, oh, okay, I got this book. And I don't explain like, hey, this is a 1 in 10 ratio, very sought after, FMV. Like, I don't do any of that, because that to me is not the interesting part. The interesting part is, the people that I'm hanging out with. And so when you guys come onto my show, it's just, it's amazing to just talk to you about your general life. You know what I mean? Because that's something that people don't necessarily get to see all the time, because, we're here sitting here like, hey, I've got this and I've got, this book and this book and this book, but nobody actually says anything about the person that's holding the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's great. I couldn't agree with you more. Especially with discovering this community in general, I don't know if I would be collecting or going as hard as I am if I hadn't discovered this. We are really good at convincing each other to spend money.
A ton of money.
Yeah, just talk to Nick on how much I convinced him to spend.
But
you did get a GSX out of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. But also like not just like the guys. Yeah, that's amazing. The like you said, some of the other YouTube channels you mentioned, but also just the community in general are so supportive and of each other, and everyone I've met in this community is always willing to help each other out, and especially with something like if someone is looking for a specific book, like they're more than willing to like that. Exactly.
I wasn't even looking for it.
What's that?
I wasn't even looking for it.
No. Wow.
Not yet, anyway.
Where was I going with that? Yeah, so that this is actually that just made me think of something, because the spending money thing, because the way, like, one of the ways that my collecting has changed. I mean, when I first got into it, I was really thinking I would focus on like completing runs. I was like, I'm gonna finish all these runs of books I've had from the 90s, right? Like X-Men and Spider-Man and stuff like that. And I did that for a little bit. And that was easy. I mean, there's tons of those books. They're everywhere, not hard to find. And then it kind of shifted to not long after. I was thinking, I wasn't even all that interested in any new titles, but once I started reading some of the new stuff, I was hooked right away. And then especially with, I'd say for the past 6 months, 90% of the books I've been buying, new books, have all been independent titles.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
And just the writing has been incredible on a lot of these books. And so, but now, already, just after a year, I'm already seeing that never stops. Like, there's gonna be new books coming out every week, so you can't read everyone, right? And I'm already getting to the point where it's like all the modern books, like the money I'm putting into those. At this point, I'm already thinking I should be putting them into not necessarily investment books or what could be considered, grails, but just older books in general. I'm just talking that in the long run, it just makes sense. And not even necessarily keys. Like, the way I'm thinking about it now is just take Spider-Man, for example. Bronze Age, Silver Age, Spider-Man, whatever it may be, it doesn't even matter what issue it is. And it doesn't even necessarily matter what grade it is, because the fact of the matter is those books are not going to get cheaper. They're just not. They're only going to go up in value. That's the other thing, is that I think like you guys probably agree with me in that any modern books, I try to keep in as pristine condition as possible. A lot of them I'll just read online, and I won't even touch the books if it's one that I think there's something to it, right? But I'm also coming to the point where it's like, that's the thing. If you start collecting older books, you got to be okay with not having those high grades, right? And that's something that better, low grade better than no grade, essentially.
But in that same vein, you have to be okay with paying for that high grade.
Yes, there is that. Yeah. But if you're not, right, and in most cases I would say I'm not, right. But I am, and that's something that when I first started collecting, I'd go into the shop and I'd see all these Bronze Age books, and they're like so beat up, you know, there's creases and ticks, and I'd look at them and I'd be like, oh man, what a crummy looking book. I'm not going to spend money on that. Now I've completely shifted because I'm like, I should have got that for, because yeah, it's beat up, but you know what? A year, 2 years from now, whatever it may be, 5 years from now, that book's going to be worth a lot more, regardless of the condition it's in, because there's just not that many of them, you know, compared to say, you know, these, whatever, what did I just buy today? Like say, the new Joker book or something, you know, I mean,
I think you're good as long as you don't buy Superman. Superman will perpetually be on the way down. I mean, there's only essentially one guy, maybe two, who read that book,
yeah,
and really believe that guy's a hero. I mean, other than that, you'll be fine.
I think I wonder who that might be. Anyways, I didn't even realize, I have not been paying attention to the chat. I saw that Jimmy the Don has joined us here, as has Austin LeMay. Anyways, Jimmy, I had to. I just wanted to ask you about something. Where is it?
Tasty dish right there.
Jimmy, you gotta send me a bottle
Nick,
of that
where's
stuff.
your lipstick?
Oh,
Where's your lipstick?
Yeah. Nick's tucking again.
It puts
the
the ocean in the basket.
Yeah. Oh, you're absolutely right, Austin. And you know what? If I get a copyright hit, worth it. Absolutely
Worth it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know, it's so funny that you say, you know, because when I first started collecting, I thought the same exact thing. I would look at those Silver Age books, and I'd be like, God dang, why $300 for this beat up book?
Yeah.
And now that I've been in this for like 2 years, noticing that investing in these Silver Age keys or, you know, Bronze Age keys is going to hold the value more than these modern books. In fact, so much so that I went and got, you know, a whole bunch of Silver Age bags and boards because I plan on shifting my collection to Silver Age comic books because those hold a lot of value.
All right. So hold on a second.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the aspect of it from the financial point.
Okay, but see, here's also the other financial point is that all the modern books that I'm buying that I don't really like or that is a niche for somebody else, you know, I like to sell those to get to some of those Silver Age keys that I'm looking for. You know, a lot of the keys that I've been getting has been either through a trade or through, you know, buying or upgrading to something. And that's all done through buying and selling a lot of the modern collection that I've been getting because, you know, a lot of those things can fizzle. Like, I can't even remember. We only find them when they're dead. How big of a thing was that when it first came out? Big, bold lettering saying we only find them when they're dead. Everybody's talking about it. I read the first issue and I was like, I'm not hooked. I read the second issue and I was like, I'm dropping you. You know what I mean? But there's just a lot of things like that that are coming out that don't pan out.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking a lot of these modern books and selling it so this way I can get the collection that I want. And, you know, one of the things that we started doing was we started putting out our want lists. You know, I put out a 2020 want list and, you know, some of those books have rolled on into 2021. But the way that I acquire those books is me not trying to spend, full dollar amount for it. Like I'm looking to trade or to, sell off a lot of this modern collection to get some of those older books that I wanted to get. Like this one was done through a trade. And I remember selling off my third print because I knew I was going to get a first print sometime. Now it's taken a year for me to get this back. But in my financial plan of doing that, I did read the book wrong then, I guess. But not only was I able to get that Batman in that one trade, but I was also able to get that Batman Beyond. And I got that Flags edition. And I got that all in the same trade. I didn't spend any money whatsoever to get these books. It was just something that I had traded, and it was a modern book that I traded that I had gotten graded at a 9.8.
So do you have those books because you're a Batman fan, or you just got them because they're keys?
No, I got it because I'm a Todd McFarlane fan. First and foremost, because Todd McFarlane was actually one of the first people that I, like after Jim Lee, I was like, I got to find out more about Jim Lee. And I have the cover that really made me find out, like, who is this artist? And this was the cover that made me think, like,
that's the best.
Who is this? Who did this cover?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this cover, I love this
my
cover.
My favorite Jim Lee cover.
The X-Men 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my favorite Jim Lee cover. In fact, I will go as much to say that this is my favorite cover of all time, because I remember when I was a kid, and I remember thinking to myself, like, it was one of those, like, whoa moments, one of those Keanu Reeves whoa moments, you know what I mean? And so when I started finding that out, I found out that Jim Lee had left to go do Image. And then there's this Todd McFarlane guy that's doing Spawn. And so, a lot of people were talking at the comic book store, and I found things like Hulk 340, because Todd McFarlane is the freaking man. Now, here I am in my 30s, and I'm finally able to get the books that I wanted, that I've seen, when I was younger. And I think it's just wonderful.
So, yeah, now, like you were just talking about whether it's selling or trading, that was a point I wanted to get to about eventually getting to a point where the hobby is funding itself, at least as much as possible. You're always going to have to put money into it, but ideally you can get to a point where you can do things like make trade up for bigger books, let's say, or just books that you would rather have in general. And I see, because I know both of you guys, you are both willing to sell books, whether it's on auction or what have you, on Instagram. And I was wondering, to what extent, when you buy books, are there books you buy specifically because you can flip them? And I guess to what degree that would be, like, in terms of when you do buy new books, like, is that something you do specifically? Because I ask this because, like, I've recently pre-ordered some books with that in mind, like, because I'm not a big spec guy, especially when I first got back into this. I was like, I saw how different the market was from when, well, I don't even know if it was that different from the 90s, to be honest, but I was just much younger, so it didn't really matter to me. But I saw how speculation in this hobby was kind of just all over the place, and I'm still very much interested in it. Like, I will watch stuff like Newbies Comics or Pressable Defects, because even though I'm not, like, out looking for specifically, like, to seeing what the hot book is that I can go and flip right now, but I'm always interested. Like, I like those guys and respect them. Those guys have put in a lot of work. But just in case I'm at a shop and I happen to see something that, I remember they were just talking about this book, maybe I'll get it. But recently I have bought some books and pre-ordered some stuff with the intent of selling them. Like I'll keep a copy for myself, but I know these are books that obviously there's no guarantees, but they're books that I feel like when whenever it is a few months from now, they're gonna go up in value. I'm very confident. So I'm wondering how many, is that something you guys do? You'll buy books specifically with the intent to flip them?
Some things. I think it depends on also too your willingness to gamble.
Yeah.
And to trust in your knowledge and things. For me, because my pull list is so large, I'll wind up getting that hot book. Like Stray Dogs I was on.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, that's pretty dope. Those movie homages are cool. But when I started to see them heat up, my whole intent is finding that 9.8. All right, I'll find that 9.8 and I'll ship it off to grade, and that's where my money is going to be made. I don't really deal with raw books because I feel there's too much ambivalence in the grade.
Yeah.
So for me, the getting it off to get slabbed is where I'm at. But also too, I'm willing to gamble and say, hey, well, that's going for 3 times cover price right now. I'll buy it just in case. Because for me, I would rather spend money then than knowing I lost money in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, for me with books that I like to play my rule of 3. I buy 3 copies of an issue that I really like. Now, Stray Dogs was one of them. Now, I read that first copy and I was like, I love this story. Like Stray Dogs actually ended up being a really good story, not just a hot book, but a really good story. And so I bought 3 of them, 3 cover A's, none of the acetate. I couldn't find that anywhere. But I got 3 of the cover A's. I got 1 to read, I got 1 to sell, and then 1 to keep inside my personal collection. You know, if at any point that I need to do something with it, if I have 3 copies, that's fine with me because I love the book. I'm okay to have that many copies of a book that I like. So for me, it's a little different because like you said, I don't do much about spec. So I'm actually just selling books that I actually end up liking because they're already inside my pull list. Because with Nick's got a huge pull list. For me, I have a select few that I'm like, I'm going to stick with this and I'm going to write it, you know? And so when I pick an FOC, I'm pretty sure that this book is going to be hot. Like DOT, I always knew was going to be hot just because you've got a hot writer on there on Tinian. And it ended up being a fantastic grab. You know, I sold issues 1 through 10, cover A, for $150. Now I could have sold it for way more than that. But you know, I'm not greedy like that. You know what I mean? Like I want people to get the books that they want because I know what it's like to want the books that I want and not be able to get them. So there's a lot of people that deal with me that make like payment plans. You know, I'll be nice enough to do something like that with somebody that I trust. You know, there's other people that do the same thing with me because they know I'm good for it too. So it's just depending on the type of book. And if I'm getting a book to sell, I already have somebody in mind that might like it. And the ones that I post on IG are the ones that nobody really was taking. And, you know, I'll share it out in these private chats before I actually put it out on my Instagram because I'd rather my friends get this first deal than everybody else. But at the same time, I'm still trying to give you a friendly deal when I'm on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, and thanks again for hooking me up with that ice cream, man.
Yeah, absolutely. No, as soon as I saw that cover, I was like, I have to have it.
Yeah.
And when they only sent me the one, and then you were like, hey, I was like, this looks like more like your collection than my collection. Like I like Ice Cream Man, But I'm a big fan of the Clockwork Orange, but I'm sure you were an even bigger fan.
I'm a huge Kubrick fan, a huge Ice Cream Man fan. That's probably has for the past year has been one of my favorite titles for sure. And yeah, I absolutely love that cover.
Yeah,
and I love when that happens, when it's a cover, because like I'm an unabashed cover hunter. I'll buy cover buys all day long. I don't mind. But when it's a book I really love with like an incredible cover like that, that's amazing.
Yeah, like I've sold 3 of these already, but I love this cover.
Yeah, that too. A great example.
Great example. Like I made sure that I at least kept 1 or 2 in my personal collection. And the thing that I'm mad about is that I didn't pick up any more of these.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I actually just managed to pick up one of the Silence of the Lamb ones, the first print.
Nice.
Yeah, one of my local shops had one. I was like, yeah, I'm taking that, definitely.
I'm a little different. See, I don't pick up multiple copies of a book unless it's a cover buy.
Yeah,
for me, it's like I don't buy. My pull list is not about spec; it's about stuff that I like to read.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So for me, unless it's a cover buy, like those Jenny Frison Catwoman covers, I'm like, give me 5 of those. It's like those are just too beautiful.
Yeah.
But other stuff, it's usually that I wind up finding that I'm, that I just catch a hot book, and I'll just wind up because I'm not really tied to anything emotionally right now. Like Stray Dogs, I love. I think it's a great series, but if it's gonna fetch me $1,000 sometime on the road, take it. I may keep the Crow cover, but other than that, go.
Yeah, that's one I wasn't able to find, but I love that Crow one.
Yeah.
Actually, that's I guess I just wanted to wrap up kind of this discussion to get to these boxes, but because I also wanted to bring up, and that might be a good segue, is talking about, like, say, buying multiple copies of a book, which I think serious collectors, that's something that you could have always done, walked into a shop, whenever it was 20, 30 years ago. You could just say, I'm buying 3 copies of this, 1 to read, 1 to keep, and then maybe 1 to sell or whatever. But with the way things are done now, with the number of just the number of online shops, the number of private sellers, with eBay, with Instagram, the way that people are getting their comics now is a lot different. And so now people can collect in ways that they were not able to before. And I think that kind of things like the insane number of variants on a title, I think that's been driven by the fact that publishers know anyone can buy this. It doesn't matter where you live. It's like we know that there's people out there willing to buy these, and so we're going to continue to push like whatever 30-40 variants on this one issue of a book. And I'm wondering if how sustainable is that, because it doesn't, in terms of like just the crazy number of variants, from which was one of the biggest things I noticed when I got back into collecting, but that has not seemed to slow down and doesn't seem like it ever will. Do you think that that's, I don't think it's sustainable, especially with and this is going to bring me to my next point, which was are publishers in general going to have to change how they do things because of like, say, the news that came out about James Tynan going to Substack and all these other creators, Scott Snyder. Now I'm just rambling, but I'll circle back to my first point because I already saw people like in chat saying like, "Oh, this is like in the '90s when all those guys left and started Image." I don't really see it because I think that was a very different situation. You're talking about the top artists, you know, in the industry, all leaving at the same time to start their own thing. This seems a little. This doesn't quite seem to be that, but it does make me think that you know, publishers like especially Marvel and DC, maybe you need to be focusing on how people are reading, how people are collecting versus how many variants we can put out, you know. I don't know if there's a question there anymore. I was just talking.
I don't think it's a matter of how many variants. I think it's just paying the people making the product correctly. You know, I think the whole fact of what Tinian and Scotty Young are doing are, you know, they're looking to get money for stuff they're creating. They're putting time and effort into doing that stuff, and they just want to be paid.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm all for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's one of the things that I've been wondering too, is this going to be sustainable in the long run? You know, like how many Red Sonja covers can you really have? And are they all selling? You know what I mean? Like you have 40 for each issue. Each issue.
A lot of pervs out there though.
Yeah, and I'm one of them. I can't help it, man. I like covers that have beautiful women on it. But if it gets close to like naked, it's hard for me to keep it inside my collection because I've got 4 kids. And, you know, when they look at the books that I collect and you try to explain to them, hey, you know, like this was a pure cover by, it's like, no, that's nasty. You know what I mean? Like that's all I get. So I can't buy things like that. But I mean, how many people out there are really buying all 40 covers of Red Sonja, you know, number 15? Like,
well, we do have to keep the dollar bin stocked for future generations, right? They're going to need their dollar bins, so we're making sure that they get them, right?
And you have to think that there's a market to begin with if they're thinking about creating that. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, I think I have a Vampirella book here that I'm going to show, but. Anyways, yeah, DJ Lynx, I don't know when he showed up, but
great.
Barbara Gordon, the Hulk. My name is Ignacio.
And when the toy gets broken, I'll simply throw it away. Where design for living. Where design for living.
That's of course DJ Lynx's favorite song now. You're welcome. You are welcome, sir. Anyways, yeah, that was. I don't know. I don't know that I learned anything really from what I was saying. But no, it's good to hear your guys' perspective on things. Absolutely. And like I said, like I look at you two as like you're definitely like other collectors that I look up to as being like these guys. It looks like they know what they're doing, or at least they make it appear that they are. But like I see, you know, like
in fact, I go to Nick for a lot of my questions because I like the way that he collects too.
Yeah,
and so I asked Nick a lot of questions. Dude, Nick, thank you so much for putting up with all my questions. But
no, yeah, like you said earlier, it's all about the community. I definitely want to help people out, and if there's something that I know somebody's looking for, I would definitely point it out.
Yeah. You know who I also really respect in terms of if you've ever watched any of Biggie Shaq's live streams when he's talking about how he collects, and it's like I'm like that guy's on point, right? Like he's all about like he's like, yeah, fuck modern books, fuck your indie books. It's like, but what his reasoning why is like he's like he's thinking in long term. Do you want to be spending all this money on you know, Something is Killing the Children, which is a really hot book, and that might be a good investment short term, but long term, would you rather have spent your money on that or on first appearance of Green Goblin? You know, it's like I know what I know what I think the right answer is there. You know, so
dude, Biggie Shaq, don't get him wrong, don't get him twisted. The dude may be insane, he may be this, maybe that to you, but dude knows how to collect.
Yeah.
Dude knows what bangers are, and he collects bangers.
The proof is in the pudding. You just look at his books, man. He's got some absolute bangers.
And you can tell that he's not working within like a really big budget. Like he's out there hustling and grinding to get the books that he wants. And the books that he wants are bigger books that you see. You know what I mean?
Well, see, this is my thing with that aspect, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But once you get that book, what enjoyment do you get out of it after that? Yeah. You just get to say, "I got it."
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's like I'm not about. I'll read this, not because it's a hot spec, because I love the story.
I'm really enjoying that.
Love the story. Mm-hmm. But, you know, also I won't say, damn, I shouldn't have spent that money on Eve because I could have put that towards, you know, X-Men 94.
Right.
You know, so that's just, you got to be the kind of collector you want to be.
Exactly. You know? Yeah, exactly. Collect how you want because you're still getting enjoyment out of that. Exactly. Like I bought that, you know, I bought Eve as well, even though it's like, you know, that's probably going to end up in a dollar bin someday. It doesn't matter to me. I didn't buy it to get rich. Right.
Yeah, and all of these books on my wall are not heavy key books. Maybe the Iron Man, Machine Man, but those are all covers that made me happy. Mm-hmm. Now, I wouldn't say, "Hey, let me go buy this" just because it's this book.
Yeah,
I remember in 6th grade thumbing through this, and I can remember every panel in this book, and I thoroughly love it. You know,
that is the thing of beauty.
6th grade. God dang.
Dude, I'm 48 years old. I'm old, you know. I'm old.
Anyways, I had some things to show. Did you guys have any stuff you wanted to show off that you picked up today, or
I want to see?
You don't have to. I got things.
I want to see yours first.
No, you go. You guys go first.
Panda?
Oh, I didn't pick up anything. Like I said to you guys before. For those of you guys that didn't see any of the backstage stuff, which is fucking all of you, I was telling them that I took my son out to go get his haircut, go get his school clothes, you know, get them prepared for school and stuff like that. Trying to help my wife wherever I can. And one of the things that she asked me to do was to get him a haircut. So, you know, it was either, hey, you know, I'm going to get him a haircut after I go to the LCS, or I'm going to go give him a haircut. I'm going to spend time with my family. And if I get to the LCS tomorrow, that's fine. But because we're in the day and age that we are, you know, I can read my books digitally and still be fine for that Thursday night show that I do with Burke Family 54 Comics, where we review 3 or 4 books. And so I think the time spent with my son was well worth it. So the only thing that I've been showing off to you guys is stuff that I have going to Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader decided that he's going to go ahead and press some books for some of us that were on C3. And so I have my books here ready. So
I still have to cash in mine from my Lamer Frame winning. So I finally got up a nice stack together. I gotta send them.
You're gonna have that Mr. Beantown GP win sent on the way.
Oh yeah, definitely want to get that. Yeah, I've got 1 or 2 of those as well.
Yeah, and you know I wouldn't have known about this book had I not watched Newbie Comics.
So dude, that was the back when I want to say 12, 13 years old, that was the first wall book I ever bought.
Wow. Really?
That one, yeah. Because it was like, first Weapon X, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then,
Except back then, it was probably like I don't know, $20 or something.
yeah, now it's not so much $20.
Not even. Not even. That book was, I think, gone up and down.
And then here's the big book that I had on my 2021 list that I finally was able to cross off, and that is that Secret Wars #8.
Oh,
and I did
nice.
get that in the newsstand. This one, the newsstand versus the direct within the price with the person that I was talking to. This was definitely, it was like $10 more for a newsstand in a higher grade. So I was like, are you kidding me? You know, like that's a no-brainer right there. Like I don't really care about a direct or newsstand, but if it's $10 more, I'll get the more expensive one, right?
Yeah, of course. That means it's better.
Yeah.
It usually means it's better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's this is a funny thing. You're on. Yeah, it's funny because I think I have all of those, but I still haven't read it. That was another thing where I was just like, I felt like I should get it, but actually I read the first issue, and it seemed interesting.
Secret Wars?
No, this
We only find them when they're dead.
Oh,
we only
yeah.
find them when they're dead. Yeah. Anyways, you got anything there, Nick? Or
I had made my new comic book day pickups, and I've sorted them kind of stuff that I definitely want to read and stuff that I won't touch, but I'll put it away because it's spec worthy. Definitely read this issue. This was a great series. I really enjoyed. Look how it's turned out. Defenders #1, Peach Momoko cover. I used to like them back in the day too, so I figured I'd give it a try, see how it turns out this time. Bunny Mask.
Yeah.
Of course, Eve. And then we're starting to get into the Star Wars High Republic stuff.
Now, is the Star Wars High Republic for you spec book or just in case books?
They're spec reading, and just because I'm a Star Wars fan.
Okay.
Like
I didn't know how big of a High Republic fan you were because I read the first 2 issues and I just didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm
a Star Wars fan too, and so
what happened with that first issue? Because that thing was just so hot, and then I guess did it fall off or cooled off quite a bit?
Yeah, because it's from one week to the next. It's like what's the hot thing? Like today, it's Robin's bisexual, so that's the book I gotta get. So for me, I've always been a big Star Wars fan. I remember my dad taking me to see that first movie 7 times before it left theaters.
Wow.
And that's always been one of my favorites. Now I've been listening to the audiobooks for the novels that have been coming out. Those books I've been reading digitally on Marvel Unlimited because I don't want to touch them.
Yeah.
Because eventually, the way Disney's going, those will be a movie, and we all know what the Star Wars books are going for now.
Yeah.
Ooh, which, by the way, did you guys watch What If?
Oh,
not yet.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. You just got to check it out, Adrian. You just got to check it
out.
Oh,
I'll get to it. Absolutely. Maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
Actually, tomorrow. I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
So
I'm really bad. Like I only just finished watching the Snyder Cut like 2 days ago. Yeah,
Well, how'd you like it?
It's good. It was good, but definitely an improvement over Justice League. But that's not saying much. That was a terrible movie. Yeah, no, it was good. Just long.
So you don't hop on those things, or is it work keeping you away?
A bit of both. Like sometimes I do have work when I come home, like or I'll be doing a video or editing a video or just in general, like the TV for me tends to just be on in the background. So when it's something like I really want to, like Loki, I sat down and watched every episode. That one I didn't really sleep on. Loki I pretty much watched kind of right away because I was excited about that one. and What If too. Like What If I wanna see that. Yeah, I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, great.
For a lot of things, I'm not worried about seeing things right away. Like, I try to avoid spoilers. If it happens, it happens. But sometimes it takes me a long time to get to things. Yeah. There's just too many. It's too many shows, too many movies. What are you going to do?
True. But we've been dry for the past year and change. So now everything's coming out. I'm like, all right,
yeah.
Cool. I'm on it. So 2 more I got. Spec books. America Chavez. Black Cotton, one of my favorite series nowadays. Stillwater. This is another one of those spec books that I started collecting when I first got back in.
Yeah.
I've got the first 8 issues also, and I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, dude, I think I bought not that many. I got maybe the first 5, and I read like the first issue.
This one I picked up just because I was on Fable's show earlier today. He said there was a little bit of heat around it, so I trust him, and I just bought it. I don't know.
Fable's a good dude too.
Sure is. This one covered by a finding with Daredevil, even though I enjoy the story.
Dude, that's definite cover by. I love that cover. Just the way that his horns are just exploding out of his head like that.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Sadarsky's been killing it over there.
Yeah.
This one, another High Republic Adventures. This is more geared towards the younger kids, but if it's a first appearance, I'm going to get it. These 2, Mark will be happy. 3 and 4. I bought this one because I've always liked Green Lantern, and fuck EBS, but Green Lantern, I bought them, and I got the first 2 issues of that. I'm a big zombie guy, so George Romero, I got the first issue of The Rise.
Yeah.
This is number 2. And one of those books I'm specking on, but I enjoy the hell out of it also.
Amazing, yeah.
Is that the 3rd print?
3rd print. This is, the regular cover A. I couldn't find
the cover just keeps getting more and more
getting burnt out.
Right there and burned up. Yeah.
I can't wait till the 6th print where it's just the first page of the book.
Possibly. And this was that book. Robin coming out as gay. And
right. That's the one.
These were hitting $20, so I said, all right, just in case, let me pay $20 now so I don't miss out maybe on 50 or 100 later.
Possibly.
And one of the books for the PC, I saw this at a great price and I couldn't pass it by. And this was in my wheelhouse. I got that X-Men 117 at a 9.0. And I don't know if it's a newsstand because of the age of it. This might have just been the regular symbol, but I got this for $75.
Very nice.
Nice.
That's excellent.
And this is one of the runs. Like I'm trying, if I can, collecting wise, if I can get GSX through 144 and a 9.8, I stop collecting.
There you go. Actually, it's funny because we were talking about the newsstand thing. So, yeah, when I got back into collecting, I was not aware of the newsstand thing either. Like you were saying, Panda, I didn't know what an AOK was. I didn't know about newsstands, all this. So the very first issue of Tomb of Dracula I bought. It was really nice condition, and it was issue 70, which happens to be the last issue, but it was my first issue. And I was like, oh, this is great, but it's too bad that someone took a marker and drew through the barcode. And I had no idea that meant it was a newsstand. So happy to find out after.
Yeah, and the retailers were the ones that would take that marker through it because that's what they were told to do back in the day to destroy those books that, they would tell you to either, I think it was like cut out the cover and then
there was that
to a percentage,
yeah,
or you had to black out the barcode or whatever it was. And so it's just, I think that one has a better story than having found just a regular old newsstand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyhow, so that was Those are some nice pickups. I think I got a couple of the same ones. Actually, before I get to what I was going to show, I just got to do this real quick.
It's a tasty dish right there.
Oh my god. I have noticed that neither of the whack guys are in here. They're gonna be pleasantly surprised when they see that, I think. Or they're gonna sue me for stealing their video. I don't know.
I had wondered why Jimmy didn't break out the Cocoa Radiant again when Tyler was doing his cup bit.
Yeah. I don't know.
I thought his refractory period was legendary. That's why, Jimmy's right back at it.
So I got some mail call things here. You guys good for time still?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm waiting to
All
play that the trash board game.
Oh yeah, I'll probably just do a quick round of that after. But first, I wanted to see what I got here. Okay, so this is from my man Rod the Rican. And that would be his exclusive for the Edge.
Nice.
Right? And for anyone who hasn't seen that, let's take a look. Take a look at the back here.
Yeah.
And that's one of the knowledgeable things Panda told me about. That's one of the
Second
X-Men
sight. There it is.
Look
Just
how
Rican and his comics.
big
Amazing.
that logo is, man.
Yeah.
That is half the comic book right there. Like,
I know, it's
Rod
awesome.
did it up right, man. When he said, "I want my logo on the back," I mean, they didn't just stamp it on there. I mean, they just full on.
Okay. I also got so we also got a print here.
Nice.
Signed by Marvin. And
oh yeah, who was the artist to that? Because I totally forgot. Because I kept trying to look at my print to see who the artist was, and I forgot.
let's take a look. Does it say same artist as the print or no? As the comic?
I would think it's the same same artist as the print as the cover.
Mark V. I mean, it looks like Marvin Wynn signed it because it says Marvin, but the artist of the book is Mark V.
Okay.
But yeah, I got that. I got the set, the Virgin variant as well.
Yeah, I got the set too. Did you get the set, Nick?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Adrian, if you look at it, it's actually an homage to X-Men number 11.
Yeah.
The Jubilee run.
Yeah, so, and actually it's cool because before, yeah, I think Rod pointed it out, but anyways, I was backstage with him one day at some show, and he told me that he was gonna have an exclusive, and it's awesome. I love it.
That is awesome. You know, that's actually the last issue of X-Men that Jim Lee did covers for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was number 11, and then 12 was some other artist. 12 on. So
Did he go to Superman after that?
I want to say he left for DC after that. Yeah.
So I got. Okay, so these are the new books I picked up.
Oh, I did
Just
Batman.
a few. Joker 6. Actually, I should be. Why didn't I big up your screen. Well, I'll do it for me. It's my show. I get the big screen.
Just a power trip right there.
Yeah, guys, I'm still getting used to StreamYard here. I'll get a hang of it someday. Yeah, so there's that.
Is that the end of the first story arc?
I don't know because I didn't read the last couple issues yet. I'm still behind. So I couldn't tell you. Oh, here's a cover by, but see, this is one I don't read, but again, yeah, there's if I see a really cool cover for this one, you know, I'll make the unabashed cover by, and that of course is Vampirella.
Ooh,
that one,
Nice.
yeah, that one I had to get.
Shannon Mayer?
Yeah. No, Shannon Mayer. No, this is who's that? Who is that? I don't know who did this.
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse. Yeah.
No, dude. You know, Nick's really good at you know, trying to figure out artists, and like I don't know how you can do that, Nick.
It's just, you know, certain people have certain styles.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of, see.
Another
There you
copy
go.
of this. Yeah, that's.
I
Second
missed
one.
out on that. I had to buy that on Whatnot from my boy JC.
Blank as well.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
You have a dog, Drac?
Sorry,
Do you have a dog?
I don't have a dog. No, I have 2 cats, but I like dogs. I always had dogs growing up. This I got because I have the director's cut version, which is only black and white, and so this is the image first of Gideon Falls #1.
Oh, nice.
I have almost every issue of this series except for like the first print of the #1, which I still don't have.
You know what's
One of my
crazy?
favorite books of all time.
You know what's crazy is that those image firsts are only $1, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even some of those can reach up to $20-$30 just because it's, you know, a reprint of the first whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing. Got the third print here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have not read the 3rd issue, it's fantastic.
Not yet. I just picked that up, but I haven't read it. This is interesting. So I didn't know anything about this, but so this Saturday I'll be on the Comic Book G Spot. He'll be interviewing me, and he showed me this book, The Last Book You'll Ever Read.
Oh, I got that one too.
Oh, you got the black, or you got the?
It's one of the black bag variants.
Yeah. Are you gonna take it
or,
out of the poly bag?
I need to get some Cocoa Radiant first because it's one of those covers. This is a Cocoa Radiant cover. If you guys haven't seen it, but.
It's a tasty dish right there.
I love it. What is Nick doing? Nick's just left the show. There we go. Oh, this too.
Oh, you did that for
Amazing.
a cover buy, or are you reading
Yeah.
Chip Zdarsky?
No, I mean I love Daredevil, but I haven't really been following this. I've got a couple issues here and there, so yeah, for the cover. But Daredevil is one kind of. I think that I would, just as a completist, I'd like to have this whole run someday. So
Yeah.
I've started buying them here and there.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the trade of Chip Zdarsky's run or whatever comes out in it, because I've heard nothing but fantastic things.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to reading Chip Zdarsky's run.
Batman 89.
Oh yeah. Did you get any of the variants for that, or did you just buy
Just
that
this one because this was my favorite cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had
I
a
think
Miko
it's my favorite
Suyen one.
Oh, actually, yeah, I think I saw that. I did. Where I got it didn't have that, but that's cool. Okay, so this is from all those books were not from one of my LCSs. This is from well, they are technically, but just an online shop, and it's this couple that happens to live like literally like a few blocks away from me, and they have an online shop, and I can just go and pick my books up like there at their apartment.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And they I also got these from them. Galactus.
Oh, I love that series.
Nice.
And the Origin, right? And this is I don't know, I haven't read this. Is this a reprint of his Origin or?
If I remember, it's like a 4-issue mini series. I don't think it's a reprint though.
Okay, because I did get I believe his actual Origin here.
Whoa.
Which is Thor 168.
Dope. Somewhere Remy's screaming.
Yeah. Such an awesome Galactus cover. So yeah, picked that up from them.
That's dope. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really cool book. Glad I found that. And then I've got one more thing, which is this is kind of going back to like so like this book is a good example of something that I saw it and the price was right. Like it made sense. Like I'm not just gonna go, you know, you could just go crazy and buy you know, every Thor book all day long, but you're gonna spend thousands and thousands of dollars. So that one, it just made sense because it seemed like a really good deal, and the condition is not, it. They have it graded as a very good. Yeah, which is fair. But I mean, it still presents really well. And I lost my panda sticker, guys.
You're all good. I'll send you another one.
Yeah, he'll send you 60.
No, it's here. I got a couple more. But anyway.
He'll send you 60 more, no problem. Hey, so with that Thor book, do you grade it? Do you hope to grade that Thor book? Like with your honey books, do you just keep them raw? Or do you hope to grade them and maybe hang them someday?
This one I'll get graded. Yeah, for sure. Only because I don't have that many. It might be a different story if I was buying books like that every week, you know, but I'm not. So that's definitely a book that I will get graded. And I also just love that cover so much. That's yeah, I'd love to have that encapsulated.
What about the Tomb of Dracula one that you have that you just got? You gonna
Sorry?
get that graded?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that graded as well.
That's a beautiful book. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I need links.
That was a lucky get. You got that out of a mystery box, right?
Yep.
That is awesome.
The Man from Beantown mystery box.
The most epic unboxing of them all.
Yeah. And so this next box is from a probably my favorite online shop in Canada, Capped Can Comics. They're here in Ontario. And they occasionally, I mean, they buy collections all the time, so they'll put up back issues every other week or so. Recently, they just put up a huge lot of just craziness. Like I think they had a GSX graded. They had a bunch of early Fantastic Four, like I think first Galactus, first Annihilus, stuff like that.
Wow.
And there's hundreds and hundreds of books like that. And so this was some stuff I grabbed from them. This is just Doctor Doom variant.
Oh, those are great Adrian covers.
Nice.
Yeah. They're Vampirella.
That's a
Love this cover. Yeah, I wish I wanted the version of this, but they didn't have it. So, here we go. Shannon Mayer, Cult of Dracula.
Nice.
That's a beautiful
Number 4.
cover.
I know you've been getting these, right, Nick?
I've actually stopped after issue 2.
Mm-hmm. And then, let's see what we got here. Oh, nice. So I've got two honey books here. And this is, again, this goes to, I'm glad I got these because it kind of goes back to the conversation we had and how my approach to collecting has shifted focus now to there's modern stuff like this, but I think I'm going to be buying less and less of that. It's kind of my goal, and more stuff like this, really, because it just, in the long run, it's not even, as an investment, sure, possibly, if I ever have to sell books, these are potentially ones you could actually get some money from. But also, I think these are just going to make me happier in the long run to have. And I think I'll get both of these graded. This has got, it's got a big crease down the middle. But other than that, it looks amazing. It's X-Men 45.
One of my favorites, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
Awesome
cover.
Cyclops cover. Yeah. Senses shattering Cyclops.
And there's
Really
a dude
cool
that
book.
just gets shitted on all the time.
Who, Cyclops?
Yeah,
Yeah. Because he's a dick.
it's true. Very true.
And I love that Quicksilver, the green Quicksilver costume.
Mhm.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, he was even more of a dick back in those days.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this is awesome. This is now my oldest issue of X-Men that I own. So 45,
Yeah,
double
congrats, man.
digits. Pretty good. I don't know what year this is. Do you know, Nick?
It's got to be 66, 67 maybe.
Nice.
Let's just see. Now, see there, I'd be impressed if I'm actually right. 46, right?
45. Yeah, 45.
June of 68.
Wow. You weren't
Nice.
that far off, Nick.
Okay, and so my last book here is 2 years older. It's from 66. And this is one, like, again, like, this isn't a book I collect, but I saw this, and it just made sense because of what they were selling it for. I was like, I'd be a fool to not get it. And this is Aquaman 29, which is the first appearance of Ocean Master.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've seen that cover, and I think it was Vincent McLean, the comic machine, that was trying to get one of those. That and the first appearance of Black Manta.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was a cool cover too. But Ocean Master is awesome though.
Vince is one of those guys. You want to talk about laser focus?
Yeah.
I've met Vince. Vince had probably a stack of books like this, key issues, and he was just like, "Nah, I'm just gonna take one or two of those because that's what I want to spend money on, and that's all I'm spending."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of self-control because, man, if I had a whole stack of keys, I would have been like, which foot am I going to saw off to give to this guy?
Yeah. Oh, this is just Stray Dogs.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But that's the thing. Like, this is with these books in particular is kind of what I'm learning slowly but surely. Is like, I saw like in this one particular upload, I saw a ton of keys that I could have easily just gone nuts. But I was like, what looks like, I guess the best deal really in terms of like, not necessarily what do I want the most, because what I wanted the most was like Giant Size X-Men #1. I wasn't going to get that, but I looked at, okay, what's there that I could actually afford? And I was like, this that I really want, because early X-Men, can't go wrong with that. And then I've been thinking more and more about what are I think for the most part are still undervalued compared to Marvel stuff, which are DC keys like this. Like, the Aquaman movies come and gone, and Ocean Master was in that, right? I believe.
Yeah.
So like the spec for this is whatever. It's not even about that. It's that in 20 years from now, what's this going to be worth?
Right.
More than I paid for it, for sure. Like, without a doubt. Just given its age, it's from 1966. So, yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Yeah.
And this is what brought me to that why I asked about Shannon Mayer earlier.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love that cover.
And this is
It's a metal?
Metal.
The metal one. Yeah, I didn't get that cover. But I did get the goat head in the metal.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on those. Well, they're
Have you gotten a metal cover graded yet?
Not yet. I have an XO Manowar also that I want to get graded, but I'm going to be sending that one off to CBCS next week.
Yeah, so the Hive Comics one, they're like, I got one of those as well. They're sending it, and they say it's going to be like, whatever, they guarantee a 9.6 or whatever. So we'll see. I had to ask them to ship the raw one separately, otherwise I'd still be waiting. Yeah.
Did you have to pay extra shipping for them to ship out just the raw?
Yeah, but I think it was like $6 or something.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So, let me just see here. I've missed. Look at that. We got Mr. Spiderholic Eddie. What's in the house?
So if he's saying hello to Adrian, who is he addressing?
Oh,
I know he's not talking to me.
Yeah, I don't. He is talking to me. Sure, fellow Fiend Club member in the Canadian chapter. So I'm pretty sure he's talking to me. There's a good chance he could be talking to Panda though.
Is that the club you just got into?
That's right. Yeah.
So can you talk about that? I know you may have discussed this somewhere before, but what does that entail?
Yeah, on Burke asked me about it when I was on Meet the Burke Fam. And I don't know, I probably did a really poor job of explaining it. I mean, it is essentially what it sounds like. It's a comic book club, It's like it's basically actually when I was talking to Burke, I was like, it's not dissimilar to the Burke fam in the sense that we have, you've got. I mean, technically, anyone can buy their way into the Burke fam, so it's not the same thing at all. You got to be vetted to get into the club. That's the thing. You got to, it's not just. It's definitely. So how I got in, I guess that might be a better way to explain it. Is just through over the past year, getting to know, different other members in the club. Not only in the Canadian chapter, but because there's other chapters. But all other chapters as well. Getting to know them and I've met so many just awesome people through it. People who are members, and then in talking to them, that made me want to actually become part of it. And yeah, it's been awesome. Just the whole experience has been great. There's one of the actually main reasons I wanted to get involved with the club is because they do a lot of work with charity, and they seem to so far everything I've seen in terms of that has been very successful. So it'd be great to be a part of that as well. But yeah, it's just like. Just talk about it's like the Burke fam, I guess I was gonna say, in that I don't know how much they talk about comic books. There's definitely talk about comic books, but not just that.
Do you spread any chainsaw pictures in that?
I have not yet. I don't want to get kicked out. I'm still on probation. There we go. However, I think it's time for this.
Tasty dish right there.
And you
Hashtag Coco Radiant, guys. Real quick, before we wrap this up, by the way, maybe do you hear that? What the hell is that? The Garbage Game Show. Garbage Game Show. Welcome to the Garbage Game Show. This is my show. My show. Garbage. Trash show. Garbage. Trash bag. Leave. Garbage.
Don't do the Garbage Game Show.
The Garbage Show. You trash bag.
Welcome.
Welcome to my Garbage Game Show, you piece of shit. Real quick, we're gonna go rapid fire. Yeah, he knows about the drumstick drop. Yes. Let's do rapid fire. No dice, no magic chips. Just let's go. If you get the answer right, or if I like the answer, you get a point. And we're gonna be mixing it up. We got a bunch of cards like this Are You Normal game and Trivial Pursuit year in review, questions about 1992. Hope you boned up on your 1992 trivia.
Why am I always pitted against Panda in trivia games?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. I always lose to you so far. My track record is 0-1 against you so far.
We're
All
both
right.
1-1 in my eyes.
So first question is for Panda.
Okay.
And we are going to go with a 1992 question.
Okay.
Who played Scrooge in the Muppet Christmas Carol?
Liam Neeson. I don't know. No idea. I just remember the movie with Bill Murray, Scrooge. Like that
was Scrooge. Yeah, Scrooge was great, but no. Who played Scrooge in the Muppet Christmas Carol? That would be Michael Caine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Who?
Michael Caine.
Oh, okay. You're Michael King.
Yeah. So Panda, 0 points for you. And that means, Nick, you're going to get another question, which is we're going to go with one of these Are You Normal questions. Have you ever taken someone you were dating to a family reunion?
I've never had a family reunion.
All right. Well, only 30% of people have said yes. That puts you in the majority, so you are normal, sir.
Far from it.
And Nick, even though you are winning, let's go with the tiebreaker question. I swear to God, I don't know if you guys caught when I was judging Lame or Frame, but Rod has his own point system. He's the best.
yeah.
Let's say let's go with a normal one for you. I don't know. There's these cards are all mixed up. That's why this is the garbage game show. And some of these are just so obviously going to be okay. Here, you know what? I'm asking you. Have you ever slept in a tent? Literally says that.
Yes.
Like 83% of people. Yes, you are normal, sir. You get a point for being normal because you slept in a tent.
Hashtag natural.
Yeah. That is a real panda roll. And Nick, let's ask you one more. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. 1992. How many timeouts? How many timeouts did the Dream Team take during the Olympics?
1992, the basketball dream team took absolutely not a one. No timeouts.
I was going to
Correct.
say
Zero.
no timeouts.
0 timeouts.
I was 19 years
That's
old.
well documented, man. Nick and I were just watching that documentary about freaking Michael Jordan. That's not fair.
Yeah, I was watching that too.
By the way, at 3:30 in the morning, we were watching that together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because we're both on Central Time here. So when
right.
I messaged
Real
him,
time.
it was 3:30 in the freaking morning.
Anyways, guys, that was it. Just a couple quick questions, quick round of garbage game show. But you are both losers in my eyes. No, what it means is the fact that you even participated means you are both winners, and you both get. I'm going to write your names down on a piece of paper and insert them into the back of Marcel's head here, just like that. And then you will be, your name will go in there. And then when I do a giveaway, the Garbage Game Show giveaway, you'll be eligible to win something. And actually, if you wait 1 second, I just got to step away and I'll show you.
Just make sure you put Cocoa Radiant to get the into the back.
Man, that Cocoa Radiant has not gotten old at all. I love that shit.
That whole thing, and the thing that made it hilarious to me is both Lee and Tyler just played that off just so normally.
Yeah, exactly.
As they always do.
Oh, man.
All right, so because I'm sure you're really looking forward to winning the Garbage Game Show giveaway, I don't know when it will happen, if it will happen, but yes, it will happen eventually. I have no idea when. We gotta get a bunch more winners into this frog. All I know is one of the things going into this will be this absolutely gorgeous, what I can only assume is a rare and one of a kind Terminator 2 lenticular thing. Look at that in the glass.
Nice.
Dang.
Is
Yeah.
that real diamond plate too?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
That's not just
Actually,
printed on. That's an actual diamond plate. That's
No,
awesome.
I lied. It's paper, but it doesn't matter because look at that. He changes
dope.
from Arnold to, and it's like priceless.
Hey,
So,
do you know that he got paid $30,000 a word in that movie?
I believe it. Yeah, I didn't know that, but makes sense. I mean, which that's crazy. Although now it's like you look at how much Will Smith gets paid per movie. It's insane.
Scarlett Johansson money.
Yeah. So that was Garbage Game. The Garbage Game Show. Garbage Game Show. Welcome to the Garbage Game Show. This is my show. This is my show.
Garbage.
It's a trash show.
Garbage.
The trash bag. Leave
Garbage. Don't do the Garbage Game Show.
The Garbage Show, you trash bag.
Welcome.
Welcome to my Garbage Game Show, you piece of shit.
As many comedians and artists we have in the community, not a single fucking one of us can sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's apparently Manny can, or at least like karaoke.
Oh, really?
That's what he claims. I haven't heard him yet.
I wouldn't doubt you, Morrow, at all.
Yeah.
Very talented dude.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for. Oh wait, Cobra Kai wants to play the Garbage Game Show. Well, I think we can make that happen. Anyhow, guys, I want to thank you so much for coming on Casual Dracula. This has been a lot of fun. And it was great to talk to you guys about collecting. And I actually did learn some things. And it's making me especially getting these today and then actually being able to kind of put it. It's definitely starting to put things into perspective a little bit more of how the direction I want to go in, and talking to you guys has definitely helped. Yeah.
And you'll find too that it's always in flux. There are things that you'll do this for and then you do the other way, and then it'll always be changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you had a good time here.
Great time.
Yeah.
It's always fun to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Especially you, Adrian.
That's right. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you, Nick and Adrian, and thank you to the chat and anyone who is watching. Austin, what did I learn? Comics on the Edge is asking me, what did I learn? That's a good question. No, I did learn. Well, I was learning about what you guys, how you guys collect, and you put that. I got a bit more. I kind of had an idea just from things that you guys posted before, and hanging out with you guys in other streams. But it's nice to kind of it's one thing to see it, and then just to actually hear someone kind of describe, what it is, why it is they like to collect what they collect. And yes, so it was great. Anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I will see everyone next week if they are watching. So have a good night, everyone, and
tasty dish right there.